As people who wear about 6 different hats before lunch, we don't naturally give ourselves permission to fully step away. There's always a reason not to, always a client to follow up with, a post to schedule, a mini session to promote. But if you never step away, you never actually get to remember who you are outside of all of that. Welcome to Off the Memory Card, the podcast where photographers talk about everything but taking photos, because photography is only 10% photos and 90% building a life and business you love. I'm Kathleen Burns. Let's dive in. So I'm sitting here today with about 15 tabs open, half of them fall mini graphics, the other half Christmas bookings, trying to get promos out the door, and if I'm honest, my brain is still a little bit at the splash pad. I just got back from a full week in Nashville visiting family, and I am just now, today, starting to climb back into work mode. So that's what I want to talk about. Taking a vacation and actually letting yourself go there, mentally, not just physically. So here's what the week actually looked like. I did crack my laptop open a few times. I won't pretend I didn't, but for the most part, I let myself relax. Although, can we talk about how the zoo, the pool, and the splash pad aren't actually relaxing? You're chasing a kid around in 90-degree heat the whole time, but it was the good kind of tired, the kind where you're present for every bit of it. And that's really what the week was, being present with my family, soaking it all in. My son is now 9 years old. My niece and nephew, who we basically spent the whole week with, are 8 and 11. And watching the three of them together was one of those moments that just stops you. They're still little, still innocent, still just want to play together. No phones, no agenda, just running around being kids. And that hit me because that's not going to last forever. And it's not something I want or am willing to miss. I didn't even bring my camera. And if you know me, you know that is a big deal. I did take a handful of pictures on my cell phone and that was it. And honestly, that felt good. I didn't need to document the whole week. I just needed to be in it. While we were there, I got to spend a lot of time with my brother and his wife, who are in the exact same season as Jeremy and I, busy with work, raising young kids, never enough hours in the day. And I started thinking about how, as a photographer or any entrepreneur, you don't get to clock in at 9 and clock out at 5. There's no shift that ends. Now, the flexibility is amazing. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't trade it for the world. But there's a part of you that's always on, always half in work mode, even on a random Tuesday afternoon at the pool. So taking a real week or even just a chunk of one to actually step away from that, I am convinced that that's good for your mental health in a way that's hard to measure, but really easy to feel. It's not always easy to justify. I'll be honest with you, coming back is a little rough. Jumping back into work mode after truly checking out for a week takes some effort. I'm feeling that scramble a little bit right now, trying to get those fall and Christmas minis promoted, starting today, a lot later than I would like, but even knowing that re-entry was coming, it was still worth every bit of it. And here's the thing I keep coming back to. As business owners, as parents, as people who wear about 6 different hats before lunch, we don't naturally give ourselves permission to fully step away. There's always a reason not to, always a client to follow up with, a post to schedule, a mini session to promote. But if you never step away, you never actually get to remember who you are outside of all of that. And I think that matters more than we give it credit for. Now, I know not everybody has a whole week to spare. If photography isn't your only job, if you've got 100 other things pulling at you, a full week away might not be realistic right now. And that's okay. You don't need a week to get the benefit of this. So here is my nudge for you this week. Take a weekend, or honestly, Even just one day, a day trip, an afternoon with no laptop, no notifications, nothing on the calendar, something that reminds you who you are when you're not working. You don't have to go to Nashville or anywhere big to get what I got out of this week. You just have to actually let yourself go there. Now, I know this episode was short and sweet, but if it meant something to you, I would love to hear about that. Leave me a review, send me a message, or just send it to someone else who needs to hear it. All right, I am going to go finish these mini session graphics. I'll see you next week. Be kind, work hard, and stay humble. Thanks for listening to Off the Memory Card. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you'd like some more support on your photography journey, head over to usethatcamera.com.